Welcome to this episode of In the Grove. I'm Jeff Frankie. Happy New Year to everyone. We're glad you're here today. Today's episode, we're going to have Tim Perry from Nationwide Chaplain Services, and Sue will be interviewing Rachel Tandy from the Elk Grove Pavilion. So stay tuned, and we'll be right back after this.
My mom and dad age is hard. I worry about their financial decisions.
I don't know where to turn for advice.
For resources, tools, and self-directed courses, visit smartaboutmoney.org. A non-commercial organization focused on your financial success.
Welcome back. My guest today is Tim Perry. He's with Nationwide Chaplain Services. He's the president and the senior chaplain for Elk Grove Village. Welcome, Tim.
Thanks, Jeff. Good to be here.
I think first, we need to explain kind of what your group is doing and how you are going to help people out in Elk Grove.
We are fired up to be here. Nationwide Chaplains is a nonprofit that was created about 20 years ago. I came up as the president in 2014 and had spent about 10 years in a volunteer chaplain position for the police department here in the Midwest. Shortly after, I decided that we needed a lot more credentialing, needed more training and standardization. So we changed the name of the organization to Nationwide Chaplain Services. Our footprint was going to be across the country, and still is. And about 6 months into it, we realized that 30% or less of the police and fire departments were faith-based. So we needed to create a second organization so we could serve the entire group. So 1041 Incorporated was created, and 1041 stands for the Public Safety Code, which means in service. I believe that my responsibilities is to keep everyone in service not only at the departments but also in their home life.
Okay.
So this provides chaplaincy, counseling, and training, specialized training for police, fire, and dispatch, also coroners, funeral home directors, and just starting now is the emergency room nurses groups that are involved in. The commonality is crisis.
All right.
And so those that respond or manage crisis, those are the people that we want to provide services to.
Well, now I think people have always heard of a police chaplain, but you're involved with anybody in emergency services then, correct? So you've kind of expanded into the areas of people that have to deal with trauma and things like that.
Right. The emergency response chaplains will respond on scene to police and fire situations. We might help out the community during death notifications or death investigations, but our primary role is to take care of police and fire.
Okay. So the public work or someone in the health industry.
Correct.
You're not really there for the residents. They have their basically.
It's a byproduct.
Yeah.
Somebody dies and you have to tell them
yeah.
what's happening. We'll take care of them, but really our focus is police and fire.
Okay. It's a little different route for the village to take. I know we had a police chaplain before, but I don't know how much was really involved or that. I think that's probably it's a good thing that we're starting to branch out. As far as anybody that responds to an emergency needs to have.
I agree. We're changing
help.
The game with this.
Mm-hmm.
Usually it was the pastors of a church might come over and help out during certain situations. We're trying to find people who are credentialed in psychology, meaning we might have psychiatrists, psychologists, therapists, and some of them may be faith-based, so we would make them a chaplain. We want somebody to be equipped and ready for the scene, and so we put them through a pretty robust process to get here, whether it be the recruiting process, the simulation process, the testing. We put them through the good old mill pretty good before they can step foot here.
Sure. Now, again, this is something different too, where you're actually a group. You're training people to become chaplains or help out and do it. So if there's an incident that happens in Elk Grove, it may not be you that comes, maybe someone that you've trained, or you can go into another town nearby or something like that. Is that correct?
Correct. We are in 35 cities or agencies currently in north of Illinois, north of, say, I-80.
Okay.
And we provide at least one chaplain for every 10 officers or firefighters.
Oh.
So we want to have a good team and a good mixture, a diversity of imams, rabbis, pastors, priests, and different kinds of specialists of psychology.
Well, considering we have 100 fire and 100 police. We're gonna have to.
You've got a good-sized department.
Yeah. Well, like I was telling you earlier, the industrial park is huge, and we have to patrol that also. And with industry, you've got a lot more accidents, fires, things like that happen.
This is true. And no
So-
matter what town you're in, small or large, the propensity for things to happen is a high risk.
There's always a need. There's always a
Right.
need. How did you get involved? How did you start doing this?
So probably about 10, 12 years ago, I was working for Motorola, and they create the software that resides in the police cruisers and the fire engines and the dispatch centers. And I would go around the country and I would just simply find out what people needed to have in their system. And I'd bring it back to Motorola, and so I started to get to know the police and firemen.
Okay.
I quickly realized that's where I wanted to be. So I went back and got my credentials in counseling and a master's in leadership and development. And so that's what I've been doing for 25 years, is working in corporate life.
Oh, okay.
So for Motorola, ADP, and Zurich Insurance,
Oh, wow.
in leadership and development and human resources. And I have about 8 years in the Air Force.
Oh, okay.
So I spent some time getting some skills together.
Yeah. Well, you've traveled around all far enough, and I'm sure you pick up something new
Sure
every
do.
place you went. So it's always
The cultures
may-
are different, and they drive the different flavors of what you need at those departments.
Now, how did you pick Elk Grove, or did Elk Grove find you? How did this happen? Did you come to Elk Grove and say?
I attend the county chiefs meetings, and I met Chief Walsh a few times before, who helped this whole process. But Sergeant Kristen Julian
Sure.
was an integral piece of trying to get this in for the last, I'd say, 2 years.
Oh, okay.
And so we waited patiently, and then when the time was right, we had a good conversation, showed our wares, and now we're just in a building process. So we're getting to know all the guys and the
Yeah.
gals, and we're glad we're here and making footprints already.
Well, I told you it was kind of all new to me that we were even getting involved in this program, but we leave that up to the departments to, make their departments better.
Right.
So to me, I don't know why we haven't done it sooner, but it's hopefully, again, it's not a service you really want to have, but it's always good to be ready for.
Well, with the suicide rates being as high as they are for police and fire, there's more suicides that took place than line of duty deaths. For the firefighters, the number for 2017 was right around 103 suicides
Wow.
across the nation. And so we wanted to make a dent in that. But since 2012, the numbers are getting better. But until we can get down to zero, then our organizations won't stop.
Well, let's hope we can ever get to that, but that's
True.
why we have to have
That's
fire,
right.
police, and someone to counsel them.
You're
So, say it typically, if someone was, let's just say there was a traumatic problem at a fire where a fireman or a police officer had some kind of injury or had to injure
Right.
somebody. Are you there for, are you there for their family too, or do you just work with the officers?
great
and the
question.
firemen?
So if something happens on scene, we would take care of the police or firefighter on scene. If we had to take them to the hospital, we'd go with them the whole way. When it's time to connect with the family, we send teams of people to the families so that the spouse can go to the hospital and visit with them. We'll take care of the family and do whatever
Oh,
has to be
wow.
done there. And so even as the process continues, we'll stay in touch. We even hold special classes for the spouses. We call it the Resilient Life for law enforcement and firefighters and then their families. So that's the time where they get to ask us questions like, why does he come home and do this and that? Or why does he have to have his back to the wall in a restaurant? So we try and give them answers and suggestions, some coping mechanisms for being married to the professionals who guard our city.
So you do that before, or you can do that with any officer or fireman right now,
Yes.
correct? And that's kind of just to get them ready for something, if hopefully it never happens, but just in case it does.
That's true. We'll start our day on a roll call and jump in some cruisers, and then we might go around the staff. We're also here for the civilians, so we'll make a presence in records or anywhere else that we need to. And then we might go on scene for something or visit families at their homes or just about anywhere.
Oh, I think that's very proactive. Now I'm even kind of mad that we didn't start this sooner. Now, were you ever a pastor, or have you always been a chaplain?
Great lead into the Resilient Life Church for first responders. We are the only church in the state of Illinois for first responders.
Oh, okay.
And so that's police, fire, dispatch. That could be for the ER nurses, the coroners, and the staff at funeral homes. And so we started in Elgin and opened up our first church in August. We'll open up 7 more churches all around Northern Illinois. In fact, tonight, Wakanda Church opens up for first responders, and then we'll add one in Montgomery and many other places.
Sure.
Hopefully in Elk Grove as well, because the church that first responders go to has stories and call it wisdom to deal with some of the challenges that are built around first responder stories. So this is the first time this has happened in Illinois, and we hope we can expand.
Well, I think this, like I said, this is a great program, and the more I'm hearing about it, I think you're getting your feet wet now and doing all that, but I think we'd love to have you come back again and kind of see what you found and kind of share with the people kind of the stories that what we've been able to help our people with, because like we said, it's a tough job, and people don't understand what our fire and police people have to go through. And
I agree. I think that the amount of courage that's needed to be a police officer and firefighter today might be misunderstood. To deal with the things that they have to deal with on the street in the department, there's realms, so to speak. There's home, there's the department, and there's the street. And you have to have courage to manage all those things, or else they will manage you.
Well,
and so we try and help them through emotional intelligence or perspectives training, or even we create models of emotional decision making called the PIES approach, which is made by police and fire for police and fire. So we're having some fun here.
Yeah, well, that's mind-boggling. I'm just thinking of more and more things that, how this will help our people. So I thank you again for coming.
Thank you.
I wish we had more time, but I'd love to have you back later on after you've gotten like I said, your feet wet, and kind of talk about, not personal things, but just kind of aspects of what your job has been able to do for Elk Grove.
Would love to come back. Thanks again for the invite.
All right, thank you. We'll be right back after this.
When I lost my sight, the only thing I had was reading.
The National Library Service for the Blind and Physically Handicapped, Library of Congress, gives patrons the freedom to read their way. Call 1-888-NLS-READ.
Welcome back to the program, everyone. I'm very happy to introduce my next guest. This is Rachel Tandy.
Hi, Sue.
Welcome to In the Grove.
Thank
here
you.
in Channel 6.
Happy to be here.
Yeah, we're very happy to have you. Now, most village residents certainly recognize the word pavilion here in town. We know it's centrally located. Many activities take place there on a regular basis, and I dare say that most residents are familiar with Pavilion Fitness, which occupies the entire second floor and even takes over some of the first floor as well.
Right.
Well, you have a new role to play with Pavilion Fitness.
I do.
Yeah.
I'm very excited about it.
Yes. So tell us, your new title is?
I am the new general manager for the Pavilion Fitness
We acknowledge
Center.
you. We congratulate
Thank you.
That's a wonderful position.
Thank you.
Should we get a little background on Rachel to begin with? Where do you come to us from, Rachel?
Well, I grew up locally in Hoffman Estates.
Oh, so you're kind
I'm
of
a
a
local
neighbor.
girl. Yep. My mom still lives in the house I grew up in Hoffman
nice.
Estates. So I visit her frequently. But I went to college, went to Hoffman Estates High School, went to college out in New York, to Ithaca College. And then...
And what did you study?
I studied communications. I have a dance background. I danced my whole childhood and adolescence. And Ithaca College actually has a really great dance program. I planned on continuing it, but then got injured the summer before my senior year.
Oh, that'll do it.
Which kind of threw me off the dance path. Went to college, came home after college, and was kind of feeling like I needed to dance somehow, some way. again, and so I started teaching step aerobics at the
Well,
Schaumburg Park
yes.
District.
Oh, over in Schaumburg. So you
Yep.
really are local. You've been
I
here
am,
around.
yep. I lived in Schaumburg. I actually lived in Elk Grove for 2 years, briefly in my early 30s, and now in Palatine.
Yeah,
So
okay,
I'm
that's it.
close.
So how did you hear about the opening that brought you to us?
You know, I saw it online, and I had heard about the fitness center, and I had some Park District friends, not Elk Grove, but people kind of in the Park District world who clued me
Kind
into
of
it.
encouraged you
Yep.
to give it a try. Now, do you have any
Yep.
other background in fitness? So you actually were a fitness instructor.
Right. I started by teaching step aerobics, which I know you love
I
to
have a
do
passion
as
for
well.
that.
Yes.
Yeah, I think we love
We've had
step
many
class.
conversations
Yeah.
about that. I'm sure we'll have
Yeah,
many
yeah.
more.
Oh, good.
So I started there because of the dance, but then I grew up in the industry from there. I became a personal trainer from there, and then I became a group exercise director, a fitness director, and a club manager.
Now we've got the
Yep.
experience.
So I kind of came up in the industry, got all my certifications, did all the studying that I needed to do to be on the fitness side,
Right.
and then got more into the administrative side.
And I dare say you are a very people-oriented
Oh,
person. The
thank
people
you.
who have come to know you so far
The
really
communications
enjoy
comes in
your
handy.
outgoingness and your friendliness, and you're just easy to reach and contact.
Oh,
How many
thank
months
you.
now have you been the manager at the fitness center?
2.5. I started October 9th. I still remember the
Okay.
exact date.
Okay.
So.
And your first impression, both with the staff, the Park District employees, and then with the membership?
Yeah, it's been fabulous.
Making a good
Truly
impression on you?
Very good impression. Truly a community, which is really what we strive
Right,
to be, is that community feeling. You know, you go to a lot of gyms, health
Right.
clubs, wherever, you know, I've been in the private sector, I've been at private athletic clubs, private athletic and tennis clubs, and I've been on the medical side. I've been a fitness manager at a medically based fitness center. So I've been in all different environments, and none of them have that true community
Now you're not just
feel.
saying that, are you?
I swear to God, I'm not.
Because I mean that's how I've always felt for years that I've been over at the fitness center. I always describe it as just neighbors trying to keep healthy.
I
and
agree
it really
with
is
you.
a,
Yeah.
a strong family connection. A lot of people go there for
Right.
the connection. Okay, so now
Right.
let's talk. There's a lot of other fitness centers in all communities sprouting up. And
It's a
even
very
say here in Elk
competitive-
Grove Village, what is your intention? How do you plan to make Pavilion Fitness stand out among the rest?
Right. Well, we already have great equipment, which is the basics. But a lot of clubs, as you said, there's fitness centers all over, whether it be private, corporate, medically based. There's a lot of competition in the industry. So I think what we talked about is really where our difference is. We're a community. So you don't just buy a membership. You buy friends and you buy neighbors, right? Like that's what you get when you come
Yes.
to Pavilion Fitness Center is you get the community and you get the support. We're going to know your name. You're not just going to be a wallet. You're going to be a person.
There was a television program where they get to know your name, right?
Right.
Right. So we have.
So are you calling me Norm?
Let's call you Rachel Norm, yes. But that's the kind of atmosphere that draws people to it and keeps
Exactly.
you coming.
Exactly.
Because the bottom line is, here in this holiday time of year and gift giving, what better gift that any of us can give ourselves than the gift of health for ourselves, for those we love,
Right.
just taking care of ourselves. So I know with me, if I don't have a place to go and a set time to go, I kind of fall off the wagon.
Right.
And if we have a facility right here in the center of
that's
town,
who, you know, that's who we are at Pavilion Fitness, and we want people to see results.
yeah.
So you're coming for the community, but you're also coming for a reason. You want to be healthier, you want to lose weight, you want to tone up, you want to do something. You're coming for the reason. So we have a great team of people at Pavilion Fitness who are invested in your success.
Let's talk about what is there. Let's talk about the staff first. So everyone there is, as far as trainers, they're nationally certified. So
Correct.
residents or anyone that comes for membership there can feel confident.
Absolutely.
they have
All of our
people in the know
trainers
working with
are
them.
certified through a nationally accredited certification body, whether that be National Academy of Sports Medicine, American Council of Exercise. They are top tier certifications that our trainers have. And they are going to be able to help you set some goals, whatever they are, that are specific to you, and really help guide you to success in achieving those goals, especially because we're coming up on New Year's resolutions, right?
That's the big time of year for fitness centers. So what kind of equipment, if someone has not been up there yet, what kind of equipment, how many pieces?
Yeah, we have over 160 cardio pieces of equipment. We have everything from treadmills to step mills, which are the revolving staircases that hurt you really bad.
No pain, no gain.
You're climbing to nowhere, it feels like, but you're seeing results.
Yeah.
We have ellipticals. We actually just got 2 brand new pieces of cutting edge
and
equipment.
let's talk about that.
Yeah.
The equipment at Pavilion Fitness is really modern, up to date. This isn't left over. I mean, you're always turning it over.
Absolutely. We just purchased a few new pieces. In terms of the cutting edge, we have plate loaded. We have an entire room of plate loaded strength equipment, which is really, if you are interested in building muscle and
we all
building
should be.
strength, right? And it doesn't mean only the
Right,
bodybuilders,
no, but just to
right?
make strength for an independent future.
Exactly. They're a lot more functional than our traditional circuit machines, where you just sit and push some weight. They're definitely a lot more functional.
Yeah.
We also just got 2 air runner treadmills, which are the non-motorized treadmills, which I won't get into all the specifics, but they're very exciting because they mimic outdoor running better than regular treadmills, than motorized treadmills. So it's a great piece of equipment to use if you're training for outdoor running, but you don't want to run in the snow or the cold.
Right.
So you can get on a non-motorized treadmill, and that will mimic outdoor running for you.
Well, the people that might be interested, as far as, let's talk about the fees, what it costs for membership. Can people come over and just, if they're not sure, can they give it a try?
Absolutely. Anybody can go on our website and sign up for 1 week free.
An entire week?
An entire week of free membership. So that is open to anybody who goes on our website. We also do your first class. If you just want to come try a class and not the whole club, your first class is always free, whether that be group exercise, yoga, TRX, whatever. That's
so
always
they just go to the front
complimentary.
desk and introduce themselves if someone new wants to try, and
Absolutely.
they'll be given.
Absolutely.
Oh, that's just a wonderful opportunity.
Yes, it's really great because we want everybody to be able to experience what it's like to be a member. So anybody can come and do that complimentary.
And you have a track.
We do.
The track, is it for senior citizens in the area? Can they?
Absolutely, and they can come for free.
Oh, everyone
all
likes
the
that
time,
word.
not just for a week.
Isn't that wonderful that
It
we
is.
think about the seniors? At least they can
Yes.
come and gather and walk and get their steps in.
It's so
especially
important
this
for
time of
seniors
year.
to stay active and to stay healthy. We want to be able to facilitate that any way we can. So absolutely, come join us.
Okay, well, you mentioned New Year's.
Yes.
And that's a buzzword for many people. This New Year's, I am making the resolution that this is the year. Do you have any incentive programs coming up?
Absolutely.
That would,
Absolutely. So it is the #1 New Year's resolution out there, right? I'm going to lose weight. I'm going to be healthy. 2019 is going to be the year of me, right?
well,
we hear
a lot
that
of people
all the
have
time.
a good intention.
Absolutely.
And then by February, somehow it seems like,
6
oh, you mean
weeks.
I got to do this over and over again? I really have to
Usually.
make a commitment every week to do it.
Exactly. It's
so what are
hard.
your plans?
So we're going to have a weight loss challenge program that will help people reach their goals and also help hold them accountable, because a lot of times it's that accountability that people are lacking, and if you
how
have
are you
a
going to
reason
do that?
to
You're not
come
going
in.
to slap their hands if they don't show
I promise not to. So what we're going to do is we have a resolution solution 6-week program, and it starts January 28th. So we're going to give people the time to get in, get their bearings, and get committed. And then the resolution solution program will be open to both members and non-members. And it will include a weekly small group training session with a certified personal trainer. So that will be the person who is going to keep you accountable. You will come in once a week for small group. You'll have reasons to come in other times. We're going to give you extra points in this challenge for attending classes and for doing other activity-related things. And then there'll be pre and post weigh-ins, but it won't just, the prizes won't be just weight loss
Are these private weigh-ins? Not everybody's seeing the number on the scale?
Absolutely.
Okay.
We promise
That
to
makes
keep
it
your
easier.
results private if
Okay.
you want to.
Okay. And brag if you want.
Exactly, exactly. It's all up to you. But really that weekly small group training session means you'll have a touch point every week with a personal trainer. That person is going to be your coach through the entire 6-week program. And there's prizes for participation, and there's also
Everybody likes a prize.
I know, right? We all like a little prize. We all like to get something. T-shirt, everyone gets a t-shirt. And then there'll be weekly prizes that will be drawn from raffles, and there'll be a grand prize for winners at the end.
Is there a cost, a special cost?
Yep, there's a small cost. It's $99 for members for the 6-week program, which is about half the cost as 6 small group training sessions would cost. It includes the retail, the t-shirt, and the prizes. So it's a great value, $99 for members, $119 for community.
Yeah, that's great. I mean, what price tag would you put if somebody said to you, you know, I can help you achieve that goal? I mean, who wouldn't pay quadruple?
Exactly.
To achieve something
There is
like
no
that?
price you can put on it because it's your life.
Absolutely.
It's your life that you're improving. So hopefully this will be enough to jumpstart some people. If they decide, you know, a lot of groups we're hoping decide to continue on after the 6 weeks and stay together because we're 38% more likely to stick with it if we have accountability partners, right?
Somebody's looking for you. Why weren't you there the other day? I was looking for you.
Exactly.
So that's the accountability.
If I know someone's going to be texting me or emailing me or calling me and saying, where were you? I'm more likely to go and just do it.
Okay, and put you on the spot here at the end. What makes you the proudest so far of being associated with Pavilion Fitness?
The people.
Oh.
For sure. This is you know, like I said, I've been in private health and tennis clubs. I've been at medically based fitness centers. I've been in corporate fitness centers in all of my 25 years of experience in the fitness world. But the people here are really one of a kind. It's a great team that loves this community, loves fitness, and loves our members and residents. So I'm very proud to be associated with Pavilion
we're very
Fitness.
happy that you took time from your very busy schedule to stop by and introduce yourself to the community. And I look forward to being more involved with you in the future, and hope that all the residents here in the community, if they haven't stopped by yet, they must. Make
Please
it part of their new year
and make
to
sure
stop by and
you
see.
ask for me and introduce yourself.
Oh yeah, because you are definitely very approachable. Well, congratulations on receiving the new position. I can tell by your excitement that you are going to take Pavilion Fitness and absolutely soar with it.
Great.
So good to have you on board.
Thank you very much,
Thank you for being with us.
My
Rachel.
pleasure.
And we will be right back with the rest of the program.
An oncologist is a cancer doctor. Neuroblastoma is a cancer that mostly affects kids.
Do the kids in your grade know these words?
Probably not. I don't think.
Everybody, I hope you enjoyed our guest today, Reverend Tim Perry. We certainly thank him for taking time to come in and introduce us to him and the role that he plays here in the community for the fire and for the police department, appreciating his services. And very happy to meet Rachel, who's the again, the new manager over at Pavilion Fitness, and for all the enthusiasm that she brings to new programming to help us all get in shape. Certainly one of the resolutions most of us have this time of year. So on behalf of Jeff and for myself, thank you for being with us this month on In the Grove. Bye everybody, we'll see you next month.